All right, I think we are live here. I appreciate everybody joining us, either joining us here live or maybe watching later on. My name is Dr. Dan Weisman from the Belvedere School District in Belvedere, Illinois. I'm excited to give you an update on how our start of school went this year and let you know some of the things we are planning on for the upcoming year as we work on our mission to empower all learners to achieve personal excellence. We had a great first month of school. Some of the highlights include the solar eclipse that a lot of our students were able to participate in and see with the fancy glasses. We had a great crosstown football game between Belvedere High School and Belvedere North High School. The student council did a great job at promoting some crosstown spirit and had a joint t-shirt created for that game. I presented the state of schools for the Belvedere Chamber in this last month, and we've had some great examples of support from our schools, from students, for the hurricane victims. I have a handful of things that I want to go through here that you can watch and hear about, and then if there's any questions at the end from the live audience, we'll let the questions come in. Sometimes we have questions, sometimes we don't. 3 times during the year I meet with our PTO leaders from each of the schools. It's a great opportunity to share what's working, what's happening in each of the schools, and for those PTO leaders to network and find support. We did have our first PTO leader meeting this last month, and it was a great turnout, and appreciated everybody being there. I also, a couple times a year, meet with the student council leaders from both of the schools. They present every month at our board meetings. This last month, we talked about things that we can be doing this year, which included the joint t-shirt for the crosstown football game, as well as making sure that they're ready. They do a joint student council training that they do with the middle schools, and they have a joint service project that both the high schools work on together for hometown Christmas this upcoming year. Just want to provide a quick update on the state budget. There were a lot of conversations and questions around the state budget the last month that when I provided the update, our state was able to pass a budget that included the schools and funding for the schools a couple weeks ago. It's called Senate Bill 1947. So we have started receiving payments. There was a little bit of time there in August where we weren't getting the payments that we usually get from the State Board of Education. Right now, we're really excited about the step forward that Senate Bill 1947 provides for funding for all schools in Illinois. Traditionally, in the past, for every dollar spent on a non-low-income student, only 81 cents was spent on a low-income student. Senate Bill 1947 works to eliminate that inequity over time. The way it's constructed is that each district is given an adequacy target that's calculated by using an accepted cost of quality education for students using 27 different elements, including allocating more for students with special needs or specific needs, which means that districts are going to start getting greater amounts of money if they have greater needs moving forward. I think that's a great move for the state. We are getting our funding, and we think this is going to be good for us also here in Belvedere. So I'm going to put just a summary of Senate Bill 1947 up in the comments that you can look at or see at any time. Let's see, I also wanted to go over my outreach plan for this year, for the 2017-2018 school year. And I'm going to put a link to the outreach plan up here as well. Let me see, give me a second to put that up. So you're able to see that. That's the superintendent page on the school district's website, and it's got a copy of my outreach plan. Just briefly, I'll go through that. There are a handful of different categories. There's really 4 main categories on the outreach plan. One is ongoing communication. For ongoing communication, I have electronic newsletters that we send out. We send out weekly electronic newsletters to all the staff, as well as a monthly electronic newsletter. That's more general. We also send a monthly electronic communication to parents through the school's e-newsletter. The second category is media. I try to push out information in multiple formats through media. This is an example of one. So in addition to the traditional Twitter and Facebook accounts pushing information out, I do these monthly virtual town halls that you're seeing right now. I also provide a monthly staff video. I have a monthly podcast. You can get the links to those on the superintendent page, and the link is in the comments. You can search on YouTube to find the videos. Even the staff videos are available for public. And the podcasts you can get wherever you get your podcasts, on iTunes or Google Play or wherever you listen to podcasts. I also have a handful of surveys that we put out a couple times a year to make sure that I'm able to get that constant flow of information from people. I know in the past we've surveyed parents, and I got some feedback that those surveys were hard to access or really hard to relate to for parents as opposed to access. So we made some tweaks to that parent survey. It's shorter, should be more accessible, and hope here in the next couple weeks when that comes out, it'll come to your email inbox that you'll take 5 minutes to fill that out. On the outreach plan, it also talks about my day-long school visits. I just went and visited Meehan last Friday. It was my first school visit. I get to all 10 schools here in the first semester of the school year. It's an opportunity for me to work with staff, work next to them, talk with students, kids on and off the bus, eat the cafeteria food, and oftentimes that includes a parent meeting. I'm also this year doing a handful of different job shadows throughout the district. It's an opportunity for me to work alongside our staff to better understand how our district functions. We have a lot of staff that aren't teachers, and they are an important part of our organization. It's important for me to understand how that works. So I've already worked this year so far with payroll and next to the grounds crew, but you can look at that outreach plan and see all the different job shadows that I've got going on. We also try to do a handful of different town halls throughout the year. This is an example of a town hall. This is one of our Facebook Live town halls. I do these every month on the day of the board meeting in the morning and in the evening. So you can tune in live, or you're able to watch those later on Facebook, or we do post the videos to YouTube as well. We also have an annual school board town hall meeting. That's on February 12th this upcoming year. That's an opportunity for the school board to engage in a town hall type format. Most of the time at our day-long visits, I have opportunity to meet with the teachers, either through a town hall or through a joint lunch where I have lunch with them and listen to them during the lunch. We also have a second town hall scheduled for all of the teachers later in the second semester of the year, kind of as we get closer to the end of the year, so that I can have another opportunity for them in a town hall format. And then each of our employee groups, in addition to the teachers, have a town hall at least once. Most of them do it twice during the school year. That includes our two large partners, Sodexo, who does our food service, and First Student, who does our transportation. So you can hear a podcast version of this virtual town hall wherever you listen to your podcast. I mentioned that. You can find that podcast by searching for District 100. You can go on YouTube and find the videos and search for District 100 or my name, Dan Weisman. A lot of the information is also available through our various newsletters that come out. I'd encourage you to take a few minutes out of your day once a month to either watch, listen, or read about what's happening in the district. This Facebook Live feed is just one way to stay updated. We post this video to our YouTube channel, and if you're subscribed to the podcast, that will show up in your feed probably by Wednesday or Thursday of the week. Remember, you can always leave a comment in our district suggestion box. I read those on a regular basis and try to respond when I can. And I'm going to put a link in here. If you have a great experience you want to celebrate or let us know about, we'd love for you to write a review for the school district here on Facebook. So thanks for joining. And if there are any questions from those that are listening live, I'll give them an opportunity to do that right now. While we're waiting to see something that is sometimes people don't realize what we do for our leadership development here in the school district. We have what I would call a monthly leadership council. It's specifically for what we would consider our senior leaders, which is our central office administrators and 10 principals. They meet every month for 2 hours, and that 2 hours is jointly planned by a small team of central office administrators and principals. They get together a week before that leadership council meeting and plan out the agenda for that meeting. The principals also meet twice a month on their own. They get together to collaborate, align their work, synchronize their work, and plan institute days or school improvement days. Those days where the kids aren't coming to school, they feel as probably the parents like a Friday or Monday where the kids don't go to school, but it's not a holiday. We call those school improvement planning days or institute days, and the principals do professional development training for that and oversee that, and they work on a regular basis through their own meetings to collaborate on that and to plan that. Principals also, as part of the development that we provide for them, have a monthly direct report meeting with me. I sit down with them one-on-one to review school progress on their goals and how they're doing as a principal, as well as they receive a monthly coaching meeting with one of our superintendents who works as a liaison between what's happening in the school and the services that we're providing with the central office. So it doesn't look like we've got any questions this month, which is no problem. I appreciate your time, and anybody that tuned in live or watches later, make sure you take a little bit of time at least once a month to either listen, read, or watch a little bit of updates about what's going on in the school district. And you can always leave a comment in the district suggestion box. Thanks, and stay tuned until next month.